Purpose is the compass that guides us through the fog of uncertainty. It is the quiet flame that burns within, steady and unwavering, even when the world around us feels chaotic and cold. Many seek purpose as if it were a treasure hidden somewhere far away, a prize to be won through effort or fate. But purpose is not found, it is awakened. It awakens when we stop chasing external validation, when we turn inward to listen to the whispers of our soul, when we recognize that our true calling is not what we do, but why we do it. Purpose is the why behind our actions, the reason we get up in the morning, the thread that weaves meaning into the fabric of our days. It is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. You are not alone in your search. Every human heart carries this yearning, to live a life that matters, to contribute, to connect, to belong. Purpose transforms suffering from a burden into a beacon. When you have a why, you can endure almost anyhow. This truth sustained Viktor Frankl through unimaginable horrors. The loss of family, the cruelty of imprisonment, the abyss of despair. Yet he found purpose in the promise of a future to build, in the love he held for those he lost, in the belief that even his suffering could serve a higher good. Purpose is not static. It evolves with us, growing deeper as we grow wiser, shifting as we shift, expanding as we expand. To awaken your purpose, you must be willing to ask difficult questions. Who am I at my core? What do I value above all else? How can I live authentically, aligned with my deepest truth? The answers may not come quickly, and they may challenge everything you thought you knew. But in that challenge lies the path to awakening. The soul speaks in subtle ways, a quiet nudge, a restless yearning, a deep sense of unease when we stray from our true path. In the noise of daily life, it can be easy to ignore these whispers, to drown them out with distractions, to silence them with doubt. But when you pause and listen, really listen, you begin to hear the faint but persistent call of purpose. This call may come as a memory of joy, a moment when you felt truly alive and connected, or it may arise as a vision of a future you long to create. It may be found in a passion, a cause, or a simple act of kindness. Purpose is not always grand or dramatic. Often it is found in the small everyday choices that align us with our values and our deepest self. Listening to the soul requires courage. The courage to face uncertainty, to confront fears, to step into the unknown. But it also offers profound reward, a life imbued with meaning, a sense of fulfillment, and a connection to something greater than ourselves. This connection is the foundation of true purpose. It binds us to the human family, to the rhythms of life, and to the unfolding mystery of existence. Embracing purpose means embracing uncertainty. It means stepping forward without all the answers, trusting that the path will reveal itself step by step. This can feel terrifying. The human mind craves certainty, a map to follow, a plan to execute. But true growth comes from the willingness to be vulnerable, to stand in the unknown with open arms. Viktor Frankl teaches us that this vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of meaning. When we let go of the need to control every outcome, we free ourselves to be present, to be authentic, to be alive. Purpose is not a destination, but a journey of becoming, a dance between intention and surrender. It asks us to hold our vision while accepting the twists and turns of the road. In this dance, we find joy, not despite uncertainty, but because of it. Because uncertainty invites creativity, inspires discovery, and calls forth our deepest courage. Purpose is realized through action. It is not enough to simply know your why. You must live it. Each choice, each step, each act of courage and kindness is a brushstroke on the canvas of your purpose. Sometimes these acts are small and unseen. A word of encouragement, a moment of patience, a gesture of love. Other times they are bold and visible. Standing up for justice, creating art, building community. Purpose fuels perseverance, giving you the strength to keep going when the road is long and difficult. It transforms obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and doubts into determination. By living your purpose, you become a beacon for others, inspiring hope, fostering connection, and cultivating meaning. Your purpose leaves a legacy, not just in the impact you make on the world, but in the lives you touch, the hearts you open, the love you share. This legacy transcends time. It is carried forward in the stories told, in the memories cherished, and in the lives transformed. Viktor Frankl's own legacy is a testament to this truth. A life lived with purpose, even amid unimaginable suffering, continues to inspire generations. Your legacy is waiting to be written. With every choice you make, with every moment you embrace meaning, purpose is the compass that guides us through the fog of uncertainty. It is the quiet flame that burns within, steady and unwavering, even when the world around us feels chaotic and cold. Many seek purpose as if it were a treasure hidden somewhere far away, a prize to be won through effort or fate. But purpose is not found. It is awakened. It awakens when we stop chasing external validation, when we turn inward to listen to the whispers of our soul, when we recognize that our true calling is not what we do, but why we do it. Purpose is the why behind our actions, the reason we get up in the morning, the thread that weaves meaning into the fabric of our days. It is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. You are not alone in your search. Every human heart carries this yearning, to live a life that matters, to contribute, to connect, to belong. Purpose transforms suffering from a burden into a beacon. When you have a why, you can endure almost any how. Yet he found purpose in the promise of a future to build, in the love he held for those he lost, in the belief that even his suffering could serve a higher good. Purpose is not static. It evolves with us, growing deeper as we grow wiser, shifting as we shift, expanding as we expand. To awaken your purpose, you must be willing to ask difficult questions. Who am I at my core? What do I value above all else? How can I live authentically, aligned with my deepest truth? The answers may not come quickly, and they may challenge everything you thought you knew. But in that challenge lies the path to awakening. The soul speaks in subtle ways, a quiet nudge, a restless yearning, a deep sense of unease when we stray from our true path. In the noise of daily life, it can be easy to ignore these whispers, to drown them out with distractions, to silence them with doubt. But when you pause and listen, really listen, you begin to hear the faint but persistent call of purpose. This call may come as a memory of joy, a moment when you felt truly alive and connected, or it may arise as a vision of a future you long to create. It may be found in a passion, a cause, or a simple act of kindness. Purpose is not always grand or dramatic. Often it is found in the small, everyday choices that align us with our values and our deepest self. Listening to the soul requires courage, the courage to face uncertainty, to confront fears, to step into the unknown. But it also offers profound reward, a life imbued with meaning, a sense of fulfillment, and a connection to something greater than ourselves. This connection is the foundation of true purpose. It binds us to the human family, to the rhythms of life, and to the unfolding mystery of existence. Embracing purpose means embracing uncertainty. It means stepping forward without all the answers, trusting that the path will reveal itself step by step. This can feel terrifying. The human mind craves certainty, a map to follow, a plan to execute. But true growth comes from the willingness to be vulnerable, to stand in the unknown with open arms. This vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of meaning. When we let go of the need to control every outcome, we free ourselves to be present, to be authentic, to be alive. Purpose is not a destination, but a journey of becoming. A dance between intention and surrender. It asks us to hold our vision while accepting the twists and turns of the road. In this dance, we find joy not despite uncertainty, but because of it. Because uncertainty invites creativity, inspires discovery, and calls forth our deepest courage. Purpose is realized through action. It is not enough to simply know your why. You must live it. Each choice, each step, each act of courage and kindness is a brushstroke on the canvas of your purpose. Sometimes these acts are small and unseen. A word of encouragement, a moment of patience, a gesture of love. Other times they are bold and visible. Standing up for justice, creating art, building community. Purpose fuels perseverance, giving you the strength to keep going when the road is long and difficult. It transforms obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons, and doubts into determination. By living your purpose, you become a beacon for others, inspiring hope, fostering connection, and cultivating meaning. Your purpose leaves a legacy, not just in the impact you make on the world, but in the lives you touch, the hearts you open, the love you share. It starts with surrender, not surrender to defeat, but surrender to reality, to the present moment, to the truth of our existence. This acceptance is a doorway, a threshold between old patterns and new possibilities. In this space, meaning emerges. It calls us to shed illusions, to release attachments to fixed outcomes, and to embrace the flow of life. Viktor Frankl's teaching reminds us that meaning is not a destination, but a dynamic journey, one that invites continuous growth, continuous recreation. Transformation asks for courage, the courage to face uncertainty, to confront fears, to step into the unknown. But it also offers hope, the hope that through change we can find deeper purpose, greater peace, and authentic joy. As you embrace transformation, you begin to see that failure is not falling down, but refusing to rise. That setbacks are not the end, but part of the path. That the darkest moments often precede the brightest dawns. This realization empowers you to move forward with resilience, with compassion for yourself, and with an open heart. It invites you to become an active participant in your own healing, your own growth, your own story. And in doing so, you discover that meaning is not just something to be found, but something to be created, moment by moment, choice by choice. To live with purpose is to engage fully with life. It is to welcome both joy and sorrow, success and failure, certainty and doubt. It is to recognize that every experience carries the seed of meaning, waiting to be nurtured by your attention and intention. Purpose calls you to be present, to listen deeply, to act mindfully, to love generously. In the quiet spaces of reflection, you find the strength to persevere. In the company of others, you find the courage to grow. In the face of adversity, you find the will to transform. The journey of purpose is not easy, but it is the path to a life that matters. It is the path that Viktor Frankl walked, and the path he invites each of us to take. It is a journey of awakening, becoming, and ultimately, transcending. As you walk this path, remember, your purpose is not fixed but fluid. It will evolve as you do. Be patient with yourself. Embrace the process. Trust that every step, even the ones that feel uncertain or difficult, are guiding you toward your truest self. Purpose is the light that shines in the darkness. It is the song that sustains the soul. It is the gift you give to yourself and to the world. Let this truth anchor you as you continue your journey. Let it inspire you to rise each day with intention and courage. Let it remind you that you are not alone, that the quest for meaning is the shared human story, connecting us all in a profound web of life. And so, with hope and determination, you move forward. You step into the unknown. You embrace the dance of becoming. You live with purpose. The path to purpose is not always clear or easy. It winds through valleys of doubt and mountains of fear. Yet every step you take, no matter how small, is an act of courage. Courage to face the unknown, courage to question your beliefs, courage to open your heart again after it has been bruised. This courage is the quiet strength that sustains you when the world feels heavy, when the night seems endless, when hope feels like a distant star. Remember, even the smallest light can dispel the deepest darkness. Purpose asks you to live fully in the present moment, not to cling to the past, nor to obsess about the future, but to be here now, with all your imperfections and dreams. This presence is a gift you give yourself, a sacred space where meaning can grow. In this space, you can hear the voice of your soul, unfiltered by fear or expectation. You can touch the essence of who you are beneath the noise of the world. The journey inward requires patience and compassion. You will stumble, you will falter, but each misstep is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to deepen your understanding of yourself and your purpose. Do not rush. Trust the process. Like a river carving its path through rock, your journey shapes you slowly but surely, creating a unique landscape that no one else can replicate. Purpose connects you to something greater than yourself. It is a thread that weaves your story into the vast tapestry of life. This connection is a source of strength and humility. It reminds you that while your story is uniquely yours, it is also part of a greater whole, a shared human experience of love, loss, hope, and transformation. In moments of despair, purpose can be the lifeline that pulls you back from the edge. It anchors you to a vision of a future worth striving for, a future where your suffering is not wasted, but transformed into wisdom and compassion. This showed us that even in the darkest prisons, the human spirit can find freedom through meaning. His life is a testament to the power of purpose to transcend circumstance. As you continue your journey, embrace the paradox of purpose. It is both a destination and a journey, a question and an answer, a burden and a gift. It invites you to live with openness and curiosity, to welcome mystery and possibility. Purpose is alive. It changes and grows as you do. When you live with purpose, you become a beacon of light for others. Your actions inspire, your words heal, your presence comforts. In this way, purpose multiplies, extending beyond you into the lives of those you touch. The ripple effect of your meaning can create waves of transformation in the world. So, carry your purpose with courage and grace. Let it be the compass when the path is unclear, the fire when the night is cold, and the song when silence feels overwhelming. This is the gift you give to yourself and to the world. A life lived fully, deeply, and meaningfully. Purpose is never a solitary journey. I have come to understand that it is woven deeply into the fabric of relationships, communities, and the shared human experience. When I live my purpose authentically, I invite others to do the same. I create spaces where vulnerability is welcomed, where stories are shared, and where healing begins. In this shared space, meaning multiplies and becomes a force far greater than individual struggle. I know now that purpose need not be grand or visible to the world. Often the most profound purposes are found in quiet acts of kindness, in the willingness to listen, in the courage to show up for others when it matters most. These moments create ripples of meaning that extend beyond what the eye can see. The shadows I have encountered on my path were never signs of failure, but invitations to deeper understanding. They challenged me to confront my fears, to question my assumptions, and to grow beyond the limits I once believed fixed. Like the night that gives way to dawn, these dark moments held the promise of new light. Even when the world outside is bleak, I have found within an inner sanctuary where I can choose my attitude, find meaning, and create a life of value. This inner freedom is, I believe, the ultimate triumph of the human spirit. As I navigate life's complexities, I cultivate patience with myself and others. Growth is rarely linear. I have experienced setbacks, detours, and moments of doubt. Yet, each challenge became an opportunity to reaffirm my commitment to purpose and deepen my resilience. I let my purpose be a living force that adapts as I evolve. I allow myself the grace to change course when necessary, to explore new horizons, and to redefine what meaning looks like for me. This flexibility is not weakness, but strength. In embracing this dynamic journey, I witness my own transformation. I learned to celebrate progress rather than perfection, to honor effort rather than outcome. This shift has opened a door to profound fulfillment. My story, with all its twists and turns, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is a narrative of courage, hope, and the relentless pursuit of meaning. By sharing this story with myself and with others, I contribute to a collective legacy of healing and growth. The purpose I cultivate today will ripple through generations. It will shape the lives of those I touch directly and indirectly, weaving a thread of connection across time and space. This, I believe, is the enduring power of meaning, a force that transcends individual existence and touches the eternal. So, as I continue on this path, I carry my purpose with humility and strength. It guides my actions, shapes my relationships, and inspires my dreams. In doing so, I participate in a sacred dance, the dance of becoming, of living, of transcending. And in this dance, I have discovered a truth I hold dear. Even in the face of suffering, the human spirit can find meaning, hope, and ultimately, freedom. Each day, I wake to the awareness that life's meaning is not something granted from without, but something forged from within. It is not a reward for success or a consolation for failure. It is the very essence of existence itself. In my darkest hours, when all seemed lost, I found that meaning does not vanish with circumstance. Rather, it shines brightest when the world turns dark. I have learned that the human spirit is remarkably resilient, not because we are immune to suffering, but because we possess the capacity to choose our attitude towards suffering. This choice is our ultimate freedom, the last human freedom, which no oppressor can take away. It is the ability to say, despite everything, this is my response. This is my meaning. In the midst of pain, I found purpose. In loss, I found love. In despair, I found hope. These are not mere platitudes, but lived truths. Truths that transformed my suffering into a source of strength and wisdom. I believe that when we embrace suffering as an opportunity for growth, rather than an enemy to avoid, we unlock a deeper dimension of life. I have witnessed this transformation not only in myself, but in countless others who, like me, refuse to let their circumstances define them. Their stories echo a powerful message. Meaning can be found in every moment, no matter how bleak. To live with purpose is to be engaged fully with the mystery of life, to accept both the light and the shadow. It is to recognize that every experience, every encounter, is a chance to affirm life's meaning. It is to carry hope in the face of despair, and to remain open to love even when it seems impossible. This journey is not always easy. It demands courage, humility, and faith. Not necessarily faith in a religious sense, but faith in the human capacity for meaning. It calls us to be present, to listen deeply, and to act with intention. It invites us to create a life story that reflects our deepest values. I invite you now to reflect on your own life. What is the meaning you are chasing? Is it one imposed by society, or one that resonates with your soul? Are you measuring success by the right standards? Or are you caught in a cycle of comparison and expectation? You are not failing. You are simply measuring the wrong meaning. When you realign your purpose with your authentic self, everything changes. The burdens you carry become bearable, the challenges become meaningful lessons, and the path ahead becomes illuminated. I stand with you on this journey, not as a distant philosopher, but as a fellow traveler. Together, let us embrace the power of meaning, the freedom of choice, and the courage to live a life that truly matters. Meaning is not a prize reserved for the fortunate few. It is available to each of us in every circumstance, no matter how dire or humble. I learned this lesson in the darkest corners of humanity, where suffering seemed endless and hope scarce. Yet even there, in the concentration camps, meaning survived. It was found in a remembered song, in a silent prayer, in the hope of reunion, in the simple act of kindness exchanged between prisoners. This teaches us that meaning is not contingent on our external world. It is not granted by wealth, status, or comfort. It springs from the very core of our being, the place where freedom resides. It is the space where we choose our attitude, our response, and our direction. You may find yourself trapped in a story of failure, burdened by expectations that do not fit your soul. You may feel lost, as if your efforts amount to nothing. But remember, these feelings do not define your meaning. Often they signal that the meaning you are pursuing is not your own. You are chasing shadows, illusions crafted by fear, society, or false ideals. To reclaim your purpose, you must turn inward. Ask yourself, what calls to me in the quiet moments? What awakens my spirit? What gives me a sense of peace and vitality? The answers are not always loud or clear. Sometimes they are whispers, buried beneath layers of doubt and distraction. But with patience and honesty, they emerge. And when you align your life with this inner call, you begin to live authentically. You begin to measure success not by external achievements, but by the depth of your engagement with life. This shift is revolutionary. It liberates you from the tyranny of comparison and the prison of other people's expectations. It invites you to create your own meaning, your own values, your own legacy. The journey is ongoing. There will be setbacks, moments of confusion, and times when the path feels obscured. But these too are part of the process. Each challenge is an invitation to deepen your understanding, to grow stronger, to reaffirm your commitment to purpose. Remember, you are not alone in this. Every person grappling with life's questions walks a similar path. We are connected by our shared humanity, by our common longing for meaning and belonging. I encourage you to embrace this connection. Seek community. Share your story. Listen to others. In these exchanges, meaning multiplies. You become part of a collective narrative, a tapestry woven from countless threads of hope, struggle, and transformation. And in this collective, you find strength and inspiration to keep moving forward. You are not failing. You are simply chasing the wrong meaning. But now, equipped with this awareness, you have the power to redirect your pursuit, to embrace a meaning that nourishes your soul, ignites your passion, and sustains you through life's inevitable trials. This is the promise of logotherapy, the promise that even in the face of suffering, we can find meaning, freedom, and ultimately, peace. May your journey be filled with courage, clarity, and grace. And may you discover the profound truth that Viktor Frankl held close to his heart, that the last of human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. This choice is your power. This choice is your purpose. In the silent moments of reflection, I often return to a question that shaped my life. What makes life meaningful? This question is not theoretical. It is visceral, urgent, and deeply personal. It demands of us not answers written in books, but answers carved from experience. It asks us to face the rawness of existence with honesty and courage. Meaning reveals itself not only in moments of triumph, but also in the depths of suffering. It is there, in the tension between pain and hope, that the human spirit stretches towards something greater. I learned this as I walked through the shadows of loss, imprisonment, and despair. It was there in the most harrowing moments that meaning shone as a fragile but unyielding light. This light is not dependent on our control over circumstances. It exists beyond success or failure, beyond joy or sorrow. It is the inner fortress where freedom resides, the freedom to choose our attitude, to find purpose even when the world offers none. To embrace this freedom is to acknowledge a profound truth, that suffering itself can be a source of meaning. Not because suffering is desirable, but because how we respond to suffering defines who we are. This response is a choice, the most human of choices. It transforms victimhood into triumph, despair into hope. I invite you now to consider your own suffering, not to dwell in it, but to recognize its potential. What lessons does it hold? How might it be a gateway to growth, to empathy, to a deeper understanding of life? This transformation is not easy. It requires courage to face pain without fleeing, to meet despair without surrendering. Yet it is through this very process that we awaken to our true selves. We discover reserves of strength and compassion previously unknown. We find that our stories, our wounds, our struggles, can become sources of healing for ourselves and others. Meaning is woven into the fabric of connection. We are not isolated islands, but part of a vast ocean of humanity. In reaching out, in sharing our stories, in bearing witness to one another's pain and joy, we participate in a sacred exchange. This exchange breathes life into our purpose and sustains us when the path is arduous. Purpose also calls us to action. It is not a passive state, but a dynamic force that propels us forward. To live with meaning is to engage deeply with the world, to act with intention, to serve, to create, to love. These actions, small or grand, ripple outward, touching lives in ways we may never fully see. I have learned that fulfillment is not found in external accolades, but in this alignment between inner purpose and outer action. It is the harmony between what we believe and how we live. As you continue this journey, be gentle with yourself. Growth unfolds in cycles, with ebbs and flows. There will be moments of clarity and moments of doubt. Both are necessary. Both contribute to the tapestry of meaning you are weaving. Remember that you are not defined by your failures, but by your willingness to rise after each fall. You are not failing. You are learning, evolving, becoming. I stand with you, a fellow traveler on this path. Together, we can find courage in vulnerability, strength in surrender, and meaning in every breath. And so, with open hearts and steadfast spirits, we continue, embracing the mystery, living with purpose, and honoring the profound truth that even in the darkest night, the human soul can shine bright. In life's grand mosaic, every fragment, every joy, every sorrow, every success, every failure, forms the intricate pattern of our existence. We often seek perfection, clarity, or certainty, yet the true essence of meaning lies in embracing the mosaic as it is, imperfect, complex, and alive. I have learned that meaning does not come from avoiding pain, but from facing it with an open heart. It is in the courage to confront suffering, to ask the hard questions, and to choose how we respond that life's profound purpose emerges. You may ask, how do I find meaning when everything feels lost? The answer is found not in abstract philosophy, but in the lived moments of your life, in the connections you nurture, the small acts of kindness you offer, the resilience you cultivate amid hardship. Each moment is an opportunity, a chance to affirm life, to contribute, to love. Purpose is not a distant destination. It is woven into the fabric of everyday existence. I encourage you to cultivate presence, to be fully here now, to listen deeply, to yourself, to others, to the quiet voice of your soul. Presence opens the door to awareness, and awareness is the gateway to meaning. In moments of stillness, ask yourself, what matters most? What do I value beyond fleeting pleasures or external validation? What legacy do I wish to leave? These questions are not always comfortable. They require honesty and vulnerability, yet they also lead to clarity and liberation. You are not alone in this quest. Across time and culture, humans have sought to understand their place in the universe. This shared journey connects us, reminding us of our common humanity. By embracing this connection, you tap into a wellspring of strength and hope. You realize that your story, unique as it is part of a greater narrative of resilience and transformation. Purpose invites you to participate actively in this narrative. It calls you to act with intention, to pursue your passions, to serve others, and to live authentically. When your actions align with your inner values, you experience fulfillment that transcends circumstance. Remember, too, that setbacks and failures are not signs of defeat, but stepping stones on your path. Each challenge offers lessons that deepen your understanding and fortify your spirit. I have walked this path myself, confronting loss, despair, and uncertainty. Yet through it all, I discovered that meaning endures, and that it is our anchor in the storm. Let this truth guide you as you move forward. You are not failing. You are simply measuring the wrong meaning. When you realign your purpose with your true self, you unlock the freedom to live fully and joyfully. So continue, with courage and compassion, embracing the dance of life with all its complexity. Your journey is meaningful, your existence valuable, and your purpose waiting to be claimed. As we delve deeper into the essence of meaning, I find it essential to reflect on the nature of choice. The human capacity to choose is both a gift and a responsibility. In every moment, no matter the circumstance, we face a decision, not always about what happens to us, but about how we respond. This choice defines our freedom and shapes our destiny. When external freedoms are stripped away, as I experienced in the concentration camps, the internal freedom to choose one's attitude remains inviolable. This is the last of human freedoms, and it holds the power to transform suffering into a triumph of the spirit. I urge you to recognize that within you lies this same power. No situation, no hardship, no loss can take away your ability to choose meaning. Even when everything else is uncertain, this choice is yours and yours alone. Consider the moments when you felt most alive, when your actions aligned with your deepest values and your heart was open to life's possibilities. These moments reveal the path toward authentic purpose. Yet, living in accordance with purpose requires courage. It means facing fears, embracing vulnerability, and often going against societal expectations. It demands that we question inherited beliefs and forge our own path. But it is in this forging that we become truly ourselves, unique expressions of the human spirit with a distinct purpose to fulfill. Purpose is not a static destination, but a dynamic journey. It evolves as we grow, learn, and transform. It challenges us to remain open, adaptable, and curious, Embracing this fluidity allows us to welcome change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for renewal. In moments of doubt, remind yourself that struggle is an integral part of growth. The cracks in the facade allow light to enter, illuminating new possibilities. Meaning emerges most vividly when we embrace life's paradoxes, joy and sorrow, certainty and mystery, freedom and limitation. These paradoxes invite us to hold complexity without needing to simplify or escape. They teach us that a life of meaning is not one free of hardship, but one rich in depth and authenticity. You may wonder, how do I cultivate this mindset? How do I find meaning amid chaos? The answer lies in presence and reflection. Pausing amidst the noise to listen deeply to your inner voice. It lies in gratitude for the small blessings that punctuate our days. It lies in compassion for yourself and others. Through these practices, you build resilience and foster a heart open to meaning. Remember, meaning is found not just in grand achievements, but in everyday acts of courage and love. Each choice to act with integrity, kindness, and purpose shapes the tapestry of your life. As you weave this tapestry, know that your story matters. Your struggles, your triumphs, your search for meaning contribute to the collective human journey. Together, we embody the resilience and hope that define our species. I invite you to step forward with intention, to embrace your power of choice, and to live a life that reflects your deepest truth. As I reflect further, I see that meaning often comes disguised in the simplest forms. A smile shared in hardship, a hand extended in kindness, a moment of stillness amidst chaos. These fragments, small as they may seem, are the building blocks of a meaningful life. It is tempting to look for meaning only in monumental achievements, in grand gestures or sweeping changes. Yet, the essence of purpose often resides in the quiet corners of daily life, in the decisions we make when no one is watching, in the compassion we offer without expectation, in the resilience we summon when the world feels overwhelming. I have learned that to live meaningfully is to embrace this paradox, to find the extraordinary within the ordinary, to see every moment as an opportunity to affirm life's value. This perspective transforms suffering from a burden into a teacher. When we engage with pain in this way, it becomes a portal to deeper understanding and connection. Consider the power of perspective. Two individuals may face similar hardships, yet their inner world, their attitude, their meaning can be vastly different. This difference shapes their experience and their destiny. You hold this power, the power to choose your perspective. This choice is the essence of freedom. I encourage you to cultivate this freedom through mindfulness and intentionality, to notice your thoughts and emotions without judgment, to question the narratives you tell yourself, and to realign your focus toward what truly matters. Purpose invites you to live not by default, but by design. It calls you to examine the stories that shape your identity and to rewrite those that no longer serve you. This process requires courage and honesty. It asks that you confront your fears, your doubts, and your shadows. Yet within this confrontation lies liberation. For when you shine light on the darkness, it loses power. Your story, with all its complexities, is uniquely yours, a testament to your resilience and humanity. By embracing your story and choosing meaning, you contribute to the ongoing human narrative of hope and transformation. Remember, meaning is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived. It unfolds with each breath, each choice, each act of love. As you continue, may you walk with courage, presence, and an open heart. Know that you are not alone. We journey together, bound by our shared search for purpose. In this shared journey lies profound strength and solace. May your life be a beacon of meaning, illuminating the path for yourself and others. Life, in its complexity, offers us countless crossroads, moments where we must decide who we want to be and what meaning we choose to embrace. These choices, though sometimes small and subtle, shape the very fabric of our existence. I have seen how even in the bleakest conditions, a single choice to embrace meaning can ignite a spark of hope that transforms despair into resilience. This is the power of human freedom. The freedom to define ourselves not by circumstance, but by the meaning we assign to it. This freedom is both humbling and empowering. It reminds us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This control is the ultimate act of agency, a declaration of our enduring humanity. I invite you to consider your own power of choice. Reflect on moments when you felt constrained by your circumstances and moments when you transcended them. What made the difference? Often, it is the meaning you found or created. Purpose requires that we engage with life fully, with all its uncertainties and imperfections. It asks us to be present with our pain and our joy, our failures and our successes. It invites us to cultivate a mindset that sees challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. The process of discovering meaning is not linear. It involves exploration, questioning, and sometimes unlearning. It requires us to be curious about ourselves and open to transformation. Through this journey, we come to understand that meaning is not something to be found out there, but something to be created from within. It is a dynamic interplay between who we are, what we value, and how we choose to live. In this creation, we tap into a wellspring of strength and resilience that sustains us through life's storms. Moreover, meaning connects us to others. It draws us into relationships, communities, and causes that transcend the self. Through these connections, our lives gain richness and depth. I have witnessed this truth repeatedly. Those who find meaning beyond themselves often endure suffering with grace and emerge stronger. They become beacons of hope, reminding us all that even in darkness, light can be found. As you continue your journey, remember that your search for meaning is a sacred endeavor. It is a path worth walking, no matter how difficult it may seem. Each step you take affirms your humanity and your capacity to live a life of significance. You are not alone in this quest. Together, we share the universal desire to find purpose and belonging. May you embrace this journey with courage, compassion, and an open heart. And may you discover, as I did, that the ultimate freedom lies in choosing meaning, no matter the circumstance. In the quiet moments when the noise of the world fades, we come face to face with ourselves, our hopes, our fears, our deepest longings. It is in these moments that the true nature of meaning reveals itself, not as an abstract concept, but as a living, breathing force that animates our existence. I have learned that meaning is found not by avoiding suffering, but by engaging with it fully and courageously. It is in the willingness to confront pain, to bear witness to our own vulnerability, that we discover the depths of our strength. This paradox that suffering can be a source of meaning is difficult to accept, yet it is a cornerstone of our humanity. It calls us to see beyond the immediate discomfort to the possibility of growth, transformation, and transcendence. You may feel lost or overwhelmed, as if your life lacks direction. But know this: the very act of seeking meaning is itself a sign of your resilience and hope. It is the flame that refuses to be extinguished even in the darkest night. Purpose calls us to live with intention, to align our actions with our values, and to find fulfillment not in external rewards, but in authentic engagement with life. This alignment is a lifelong practice. It requires reflection, honesty, and a willingness to change course when necessary. I encourage you to embrace this journey with patience and compassion for yourself. Growth is not linear, and setbacks are part of the process. Each challenge you face offers an opportunity to deepen your understanding and strengthen your resolve. Meaning is found in connection with ourselves, with others, and with the greater whole. It is woven into the relationships we cultivate, the love we give and receive, and the legacy we leave behind. In recognizing our interconnectedness, we find solace and strength. We realize that our struggles are shared, and our victories celebrate the collective human spirit. As you walk this path, may you carry with you the awareness that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by the meaning you choose to create. You are not failing. You are simply on a journey to discover the right meaning for your life. This discovery is the essence of freedom and the foundation of a life well lived. I often remind myself, and those I speak to, that life is not something that happens to us. Life is something we respond to. We are not passive recipients of fate, but active participants in shaping our experience through the lens of meaning. When we feel adrift, when nothing seems to satisfy the longing within us, it is often because we have been living according to borrowed meanings. Meanings handed to us by society, by tradition, by fear. but these do not nourish the soul. They may offer temporary comfort, but not lasting fulfillment. The true task is to uncover what is uniquely meaningful to you. Not what is easiest, not what is most praised, but what resonates in the deepest places of your being. What stirs your spirit when everything else falls silent. This is not a task for the faint of heart. It requires the willingness to confront truth, to ask painful questions, and to live without guaranteed answers. But in this vulnerability, there is immense power. I have seen many people, broken by external conditions, rise again through this act of reclamation, of owning their story, their choices, their values. They did not need perfect circumstances. They needed only one thing: a reason. And that is what meaning is. It is the reason that carries us forward when logic tells us we should give up. It is the why that sustains us through the how. Do not wait for meaning to come find you. Go out and meet it, even if you are trembling. Even if you don't yet know what you are seeking. Begin by asking, where in my life do I feel most alive? When do I feel most myself? What am I willing to suffer for? Not because I have to, but because I choose to. In the answers to these questions lies the outline of your path. I know how tempting it is to seek clarity before taking the first step. But clarity often follows action, not the other way around. Begin walking, and the fog will lift. You must also make peace with the fact that meaning is not permanent. It evolves as you do. What was once sacred to you may shift. This is not betrayal, it is growth. You are not here to cling to an identity. You are here to become. And every stage of your becoming offers new meaning, new insight, new light. Purpose is not a place you arrive at. It is a way of traveling through life with openness, with intention, and with reverence. You may falter, you may forget, but the truth of who you are is always within reach. Even when you feel furthest from yourself, meaning remains patient. It waits in the margins, in the quiet moments, in the parts of you that have not yet been silenced by the world. So, listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. The world may offer noise, distraction, and illusion, but within you there is a voice that has never forgotten who you are. Return to it, trust it, and allow it to guide you back, not to perfection, not to certainty, but to meaning. There is something sacred about endurance, not endurance as passive suffering, but endurance as the quiet, defiant insistence that life still holds meaning, especially when it hurts the most. I have seen people hold on to this thread of meaning in places where most would have surrendered. And I have learned this: the thread may be fragile, but it is unbreakable when it is chosen freely, from within. You may feel like you're walking through the fog, unsure of your direction. But the fog doesn't mean you're lost. It only means you're human. Keep walking, step by step. Purpose is not always a beacon on the hill. Sometimes it is a whisper at your feet, asking only for the next small act of courage. Do not be fooled by the culture that tells you to seek only comfort. A meaningful life is not built by avoiding discomfort, but by choosing the kind that transforms. There is no growth without tension, no purpose without friction. Life asks for your participation, not your protection. I do not speak of blind endurance, of stoicism without soul. I speak of endurance rooted in meaning, the kind that chooses to show up again and again because the why is greater than the pain. You are not meant to live a life of mere survival. You are here to answer the question life is asking you. Yes, life is asking you something, not the other way around. People often ask, what can I expect from life? But I say, what does life expect from you? That shift is everything. When you begin to live as if your existence is a response to a question that only you can answer, everything becomes sacred. Your time, your relationships, your work, even your wounds. This is not an invitation to pressure or performance. It is an invitation to presence. Life is not waiting for you to be extraordinary. It is waiting for I to be true. And when you are true, even your silence carries weight. Even your ordinary acts become part of a much greater design. The moments you thought didn't matter, the conversations, the tears, the prayers whispered alone, were seeds of meaning waiting to bloom. And though it may feel like no one sees them, you see them, you know. And that is enough. Sometimes you will outgrow the meaning that once gave you strength. That is not failure, that is evolution. Meaning too must grow, stretch, and deepen with you. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to change. Not in the direction of someone else's vision, but toward the person you were always meant to become. Let go of the need to have it all figured out. You don't need a complete map, you only need the next step, and the trust that something within you is guiding you home. You are not here by accident. The questions that burn in your soul are not meaningless. They are the very callings that shape your path. Sometimes the pain you feel is not a signal that you are broken, but a signal that you are on the verge of waking up. Your breakdowns may be the soil from which your truest self will rise. And though it may not happen all at once, the slow turning of your heart toward what matters most is already a kind of resurrection. So pause, breathe, feel your own heartbeat. You are here. You are alive. You are capable of transforming everything that has wounded you into wisdom. And when that happens, you become not only a seeker of meaning, but a bearer of it. A lighthouse for others, a quiet force in a loud world. Your life is no longer just about survival. It becomes a legacy. And what is that legacy? That in a world that taught you to chase validation, you chose truth. That in a culture that sold you comfort, you chose courage. That when you could have closed your heart, you chose to keep it open. That when you could have given up, you kept searching for meaning, for love, for something deeper than the pain. That you realized you were never failing. You were just chasing the wrong meaning. And when you changed direction, you began to come home. Not to a place, but to yourself. And that is where the real journey begins.